Danny Alvarez with Behind the Gloves here with the WBO 130-pound champion of the world, Jamel Herring. Champ, saw love always.
Oh, yeah.
I respect what you do. I always have, and me being a serviceman, I've always had that admiration for you.
Arms, baby.
So seeing you here today, what's it mean to you, right? It seems like sometimes people may overlook things or maybe even take things for granted, but being here in this moment, right, being world champion, numerous defenses, going into what some would say, at least on paper, is the biggest fight of your career. What does that mean to you, and what are you feeling at this moment?
Man, I'm overwhelmed, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, you can look at my face, man. Like, I love it. I love the moment. I love the sport that we're in. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be able to witness tonight a great heavyweight championship fight. I just got to see a great press conference between two individuals who I love dearly, which is Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, great guys that I've known personally throughout the years. And then you got myself in another big fight for my own career. So it's just a great feeling, and I don't take anything for granted. I'm just blessed and I'm honored.
I gotta ask, because I've interviewed you throughout the years, but I've always been curious, right? Like, going back to those days of you in Iraq, did you ever picture anything like this, ever happening for you?
Man, listen, man, you just brought a good memory back to me. I remember back in '07 in Iraq, they actually aired the Mayweather-De La Hoya fight, De La Hoya-Mayweather fight.
AFN.
And AFN, Armed Forces Network. They aired it.
I know.
And man, I was just saying to myself, if I can, if I make it out of harm's way in one piece and get back to the sport of boxing, I'm going to do whatever I can to get to that level and become a world champion. So, that's why I don't take things for granted. 'Cause I look back on those days, being in Iraq, being out there in Fallujah and in harm's way, and I'm just grateful. And even now, I'm still motivated. Even at my age, I'm still motivated, bro. And I don't take anything for granted, and I'm just honored. And like I said, 2021 has been a great year for me. With the Frampton fight, and now with another big fight. I'm actually just trying to shoot my shot just to even get mentioned with guys like Canelo in terms of being with a victory here, fighter of the year. So that's what motivates me. I don't care if I win it or not, but just to be mentioned with guys like Canelo and others, it says a lot from where I've been through to where I'm at now.
Obviously, November the 20th is the task at hand at Atlanta, Georgia. Seems like Atlanta's getting all the big fights. And yeah, October 23rd. I'm sorry. And Shakur Stevenson, fighter in front of you. And it's funny you mentioned that fight, because I remember seeing both of you on AFN just last year when you guys were in the bubble. Fight. But going into the fight, it seems like there's a lot of excitement. It seems like, at least from the fans' perspective, a lot of people are split down the middle, right? What is your mindset going into that fight? What is your mentality, right? Because every opponent is different from the last.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it's another fight, but it's another big fight. You know what I mean? I'm not overlooking them, but I'm not jumping into all the antics and what people may say. Even people that are with me, I don't really dig too much into it, because I still have to go out there and perform to my best abilities and do what I got to do. So, I'm just looking forward just to hearing that bell ring and letting the fist fly and go from there.
I don't want to speak for you, but in my opinion, I felt that the Carl Frampton fight in Dubai was probably a career best performance. Is that something that you feel inside of you, and something that you would say that was probably the best performance of your career?
No, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. But that just tells you, it also shows you that I'm getting better even with age and time. The more I work with my team, with Brian McIntyre, Red Spikes, Cesar Dieguez, Jamie Bell, the better I get. So and this is just another test, another big test. But I feel like 2021 has been a great year for my career, and I want to finish the year out strong.
Do you feel that after that performance, because you didn't just beat Carl Frampton, which some people said, oh, Carl Frampton's going to get the best of him. They were even talking about Shakur and Carl in Belfast, right?
Yeah.
Looking past you, do you feel that you're not even getting the respect because you didn't just beat him, but you beat him in a hell of a fashion? Do you feel that some people are looking, looking past you, looking over you once again, that you're not getting the credit and the respect that you deserve?
Hey, it happens, man. It happens, but I don't cry over it. You know why? Because at the end of the day, I want my career to define me when people look back on it. You know what I mean? Like, look at the greats like Winky Wright. That's most I always refer to Winky Wright, because Winky Wright, he didn't get his shot before the great Shane Mosley, and even then he still had to prove himself by continue winning and fighting in the big fights. So, you know, there's always been champions that have been through probably maybe worse than I have, so I don't really complain, but I'd rather be that way, because I'd rather just continue shocking the world, I guess, and continue going from there.
Absolutely. I got just two more for you. I got to ask your thoughts on the whole Oscar Valdez situation. You know, a lot of media, a lot of fans, just boxing people felt that he should have never even been able to defend that title, given the positive outcome of his test. What are your thoughts on it? Because, you know, for the longest time, you and Oscar was the fight being spoken about. So I just wanted your thoughts and your reaction on that whole situation.
Like I said, I don't really have nothing bad to say about Oscar. Oscar is a good dude, but in terms of the sport of boxing, if you're going to make your rules, abide by your rules. You know what I mean? But, you know, like you said, he said, you know, it was a mistake. You know, he took a lot of criticism for it, and, you know, he has to deal with that. Even now, he has to deal with that, and people gonna question him the next fight. So I'm not here to basically kick a man while he's down. But in terms of boxing, we have to do better. If we're gonna put in a clean boxing program, we need to follow what we preach. So that's what we really have to look at. Like, you know, not it's bigger than just Oscar. It's what people are preaching and we're not following. But like I said, man, even so, a victory over Stevenson, I still want that fight, because I want to become the lineal, you know, world champion of the division. I want to become a a two-time world champion. So I still would like that fight, but hopefully the next time when that fight does come around, you know, we'll be on an even playing field and everything with testing as well, and we won't have any positive tests coming up.
And lastly, when it's all said and done, could we see your career? Could we see a fight with you on a military installation? We see it with like college basketball, and I think that'd be like a huge thing. And what do you want your legacy to be remembered? So could we see you fight, you know, in front of our servicemen, you know, on a military installation? And, you know, when it's all said and done, what do you want your career to be remembered as?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to when I fight on a military base, especially the Marine Corps base, to be honest with you. And Top Rank has been pushing for that. We've been trying. Yeah, we've been trying. We have been trying. That's one spot. That's why I went to Fresno instead. Top Rank tried to get San Diego, but we couldn't get it for other reasons. But of course, at the end of the day, I want to be remembered as one of the best Marines to lace up a pair of gloves, and not only just a Marine, but a service member, because I represent. You know, we represent each other, we represent as a whole. And this is why I carry myself as such. You know what I mean? So, but I just want to be better known as one of the greatest military fighters to ever lace a pair of gloves. And that's next to guys like, you know, the greats like, you know, Joe Louis and Ray Robinson, Leon Spinks and Ken Norton, you know, those guys that, you know, and the list goes so on. So I just want to be just in the list of mentions, at least with those great athletes.
Jamel Herring, October 23rd, Atlanta, Georgia, you know, versus Shakur Stevenson. It is a hell of a fight for the fans and a fight for the people, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you, brother. Simplified salute, brother.
Thank you.